Hi, this is Jamie Smoltz. This is HIPAA training for the employees of MediSafe Home Care Pharmacies. You will need to view 2 short video presentations and then complete the Test Your HIPAA Knowledge test to complete your HIPAA training. What is HIPAA? HIPAA is the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. HIPAA is designed to protect private health information from prying eyes. This rule went into effect April 14, 2003. Oversight is managed by the Office of Civil Rights through the Department of Health and Human Services. This is a copy of our privacy policy and procedures. Each store location has a copy, and it will be kept in the pharmacy and in the DME department at each location. All employees must become familiar with the policy and procedures and sign that you understand and agree to abide by these policies and procedures. Our privacy officer and security officer is Jamie Ray Smoltz. It is my responsibility to implement, train, and comply with all HIPAA rules and regulations and make sure that all of you do so as well. Why should you follow HIPAA regulations? It is mandated by the federal government that we as a covered entity must comply. All healthcare providers, hospitals, nursing homes, pharmacies, and medical equipment dealers must comply with HIPAA. What happens if you don't follow HIPAA? Both you and MediSafe can face steep fines and up to 10 years in jail. You can face criminal charges for knowingly releasing PHI that can hurt someone. If you comply by these rules, and if we make a mistake, know that we have disclosed PHI, we must make every effort to correct it in 30 days and make sure that it doesn't happen again. What is PHI? PHI is private health information. This includes names, birth dates, discharge and admission dates, date of death, telephone numbers, addresses, fax numbers, medical record numbers, photographs, finger and voice prints, prescription numbers, and any other unique identifying number. Any information that you have that tells who your patients are, what type of medical care, medication, or medical supply they are receiving is protected information. The patient's medical record is the most visible protected health information, but PHI can appear in other places that you don't think about. Office boards, insurance cards, delivery tickets, telephone notes, dictation tape, fax machines, and copy machines. What does protected mean? Protected means that only the people who need the information should have access to it, and they should only have the information they need to do their job. It also means that you need to get patient permission to use or disclose PHI in some circumstances. These rules give patients more control over their own health information. What is TPO? The HIPAA privacy rule allows you to use private health information, PHI, to treat a patient, to get paid for that treatment, and to do the day-to-day activities that keep your company operating without patient authorization. Treatment, payment, and other health operations is TPO. It's a need-to-know standard. Means you must make a reasonable effort to limit health information that you are using and giving out only what is absolutely necessary to accomplish your purpose. MUM is the word. Watch what you say, where you say it, who you say it to. You must make a reasonable effort to keep protected health information private. Talk quietly. Do not use full names. Always make sure the person getting information has the authority to do so. How to handle requests. If a patient requests a prescription profile, mail it directly to them. If it is to be picked up in the store, make sure it is in a sealed envelope with the patient's name on it. You must make a note in the note section of the patient profile in the pharmacy software. If it is a request for a medical equipment chart or profile, remember to make a conversation sheet and place it in the patient's chart. Your supervisor may also instruct you to leave a note in the software in the durable medical equipment. You can share a PHI with a family member as long as you let the patient have an opportunity to object before you share health information with that family member. Always share only the information that is relevant at the time. You can release PHI without the patient's permission in the following circumstances: when it's required by law, requested by law enforcement officials, if it's in a workman's comp case, if it's requested by a correctional institution, by a public health entity, if requested by lawsuit with subpoena or court order, for military purposes, or for research. You can send the entire patient chart, if requested, by the patient, by a healthcare worker for treatment, or to the Department of Health and Human Services. Other than TPO, you will need an authorization form signed by the patient before you release their PHI. The following are the most common: attorney's offices, housing request. These forms are in your HIPAA policies and procedures. Patients have the right to receive a copy of their privacy policy. This is a two-sided sheet posted at each pharmacy counter and the DME counter. Each patient will be asked to sign a form saying that they have been offered a copy of our privacy policy. If they refuse to sign, just note their name and the fact they refuse to sign and file. Patients have a right to see their PHI and to get a copy. This includes the following: medical records, billing records, lab reports, and x-rays. Patients have a right to request changes be made to correct errors in their records or to add information that has been omitted. This should be handled very carefully by your supervisor or privacy officer. The patient has the right, but Medisave does not have to make the change. This could be as minor as correcting an address, date of birth, or it could be more complex with medication issues. Other than minor corrections, this request will need to be in writing. Part 1 is now complete. Please continue to Part 2.